The film unfolds with a scene of an individual, clearly plagued by an unknown sickness, in a frantic escape from the constant chase of law enforcement. Despite their attempts to neutralize him, their bullets seem to consistently miss their mark, as if the man possesses a strange quickness, or the officers are simply lacking in their marksmanship. The chase culminates at a tranquil beach, where the man halts abruptly. For a fleeting moment, we witness a chilling sight of something writhing beneath his skin. It's some worm-like thing crawling under his skin. In an unexpected twist, the man decides to go into the ocean, which strangely dissolves his body as if it were made of spun sugar. The narrative then delves into the backstory. In the year 1989, a team of scientists stationed on the isolated Cutty-Hunk Island engineered a unique parasite that could be hatched from man-made pearls. The lead scientist, named Mason, is giving his presentations, and subjects are being experimented on. It's a wide project led by the main island, and its objective was to use these parasites to improve human abilities and speed up their growth. However, this bold experiment backfired greatly. The parasites began to mutate their hosts, leading to a disaster on the island. The inhabitants were forced to fight against these parasites, killing anyone who was infected. Mason, however, is still focused on the success of this experiment, and even after the horrific incident, he continued to develop these parasites. Fast forward to the present day, we are introduced to a group of individuals en route to the haunted Cutty-Hunk Island. The central character, Jamie, has recently inherited a property on the island from her late Uncle Mason, valued at a staggering $2 million. Accompanied by her ailing brother Justin, her boyfriend Marco, and her closest friend Kristen, she is eager to inspect the property and prepare it for sale. First, they will do a deep cleaning, and then it will be ready for sale. Jamie is hesitant and seems dissatisfied to return to the island. The group is guided to the island by Jamie's friend Sarah, a resident of the island and a mother to a young child. As the group passes by a house, the narrative shifts inside to another family. The couple was getting ready for bed, and the wife thought she heard something. Her husband tells her not to worry, but soon things will turn upside down for her. Her daughter comes to the room acting very strange. She says the things in her body are now fully awake. Shortly when the mother turns the light on, the parents are horrified to witness their infected daughter. The little girl releases a bunch of parasites onto the bed, and soon the parents are eaten by them. Elsewhere, the group safely arrives at the uncle's house, which Jamie will be selling shortly. Kristen, Jamie's friend, playfully draws a mustache on Justin's mouth. However, Justin seems uninterested and tired. Meanwhile, Jamie and her boyfriend Marco decide to chill for the night, but before that, she decides to take a peek into the house. Her boyfriend wanted to make a call to the city, but is unable to do so due to the low signal. However, he comes across a car and decides to ask where he can get a good signal, but the driver just leaves him there and drives off. Meanwhile, inside the house, Jamie is looking at some old things, and a flashback appears before her eyes. Elsewhere, Kristen and Justin are settling for bed. Kristen displays a playful interest in Justin, attempting to flirt, but Justin is still disinterested and is even annoyed by her energy. Ignored, she decides to leave him alone. The next day, she wakes up and is getting ready to go out for a run in the forest. She begins outside, and when she runs, she paints the trees so as not to get lost when returning. However, on her way, she stumbles upon a funeral procession. It was the funeral of the couple that was eaten by the child's parasites. She quickly runs back home, but in a slight moment, we catch someone stalking and gazing at her. As the scene shifts, we catch scientists, Dr. McAvire and his assistant Gina, conducting an autopsy on a dead body of a woman eaten by the same parasites. The infected corpse lays dead, but the parasite inside of it still emerges. Meanwhile, the doctor shows Gina that the only cure they have for now is salt water that fries the parasites and kills them. He demonstrates it to her, and at the same time, reveals more about the first outbreak. At first, parasites, given a simple set of instructions, can burrow into their host and manipulate their DNA. It started with shellfish, engineering oysters that produced perfect, lustrous, and round pearls. The money gathered from the pearls funded the research, and it was all going well. They set out to make perfect and strong humans. At first, it was successful, and the subject's senses heightened, and they became more intuitive. However, the scientists forgot one thing. Parasites need to feed, and so they fed on the hosts from the inside. That's when hell broke loose and the subjects were all consumed. Subsequently, the island mayor named Larkin and a police officer named Jake come to speak with the doctor. But just then, a parasite escapes from the laying corpse. It crawls down and makes its way. The doctor meets with Mayor Larkin and Sheriff Jake, revealing his hidden reason for luring Jamie to the island, believing she possesses the antidote to the rampant infection. The meeting takes a grim turn when they discover Gina has been infected, prompting the sheriff to eliminate her swiftly. Meanwhile, back at the house, Jamie experiences another flashback, where her uncle discusses the antidote. It was her mother, whom she loved very much, and was a scientist as well. She was developing an antidote for the parasite breakout, but Mason, the uncle, appears and tells her it's not much to worry about. However, before she can delve deeper into her memories, Mayor Larkin interrupts her. He informs her of a local law that prohibits the sale of property to outsiders, offering her $75,000 as an alternative. He leaves her to think about his proposition. In a surprising discovery, Marco uncovers a hidden safe beneath the mattress of their bed. Justin, attempting to chop wood and failing miserably, is joined by Kristen, and they decide to relax by a nearby lake. Justin narrowly escapes an encounter with a parasite during a swim, only to be infected later when he and Kristen share a private moment. It was quick and abrupt when the parasite pierced his feet and entered his body. He only felt a sting, so they both returned to their moment, dismissing it easily. Under the bed, Jamie and Marco discover a trove of pearls, a doll, and a VHS tape in the safe. The tape reveals Jamie's uncle's experiments with the parasites. It also shows when all hell broke loose and the subjects were acting crazy. Meanwhile, Kristen interrupts them with news of Justin's deteriorating health, prompting them to rush to his aid as the tape continues to play, revealing the outbreak. Back outside, they find Justin collapsing and trembling in pain. He says something is ripping him, and they even glimpsed the parasite. They help and bring him back to the house, and Jamie rushes outside to seek help from Sarah. Jamie and Sarah venture out from there to seek help, oblivious to the fact that they are being followed by the same car. The stalker, possibly. They knock on a house asking to be helped, but the owner doesn't respond. They can see him, so they scream out. However, the man is being devoured by the parasites and is dead. Meanwhile, Marco is frantically cycling around, trying to find a phone signal to call for help. Justin, feeling better, attempts to seduce Kristen, but she rejects his advances as he did with her last night. Later, Justin awakens to the ticking of a clock, his hearing seemingly enhanced. He overhears Jamie and Marco expressing their love for each other. Justin then takes Kristen's glasses before venturing out, looking quite ridiculous. He finds himself at a local bar, where he approaches a girl with a creepy pickup line. Despite his odd behavior, she seems attracted to him, possibly due to some pheromone released by the infection. When the girl's boyfriend intervenes, Justin confidently asserts that she is now interested in him, leading to a confrontation. Outside the bar, Justin displays extraordinary strength, overpowering the boyfriend and his friends. When the boyfriend responds with a pebble, Justin responds by breaking the asphalt, ready to escalate the fight. However, the girl manages to dissuade him, ending the confrontation peacefully. She chooses him over her boyfriend, and they end up leaving together. In the quiet calm of the forest, Justin leads the girl away from the prying eyes of society. Their lips meet in a passionate kiss, but the girl's heart is filled with uncertainty. She tries to voice her concerns, but Justin, consumed by his desires, refuses to listen. In a horrifying turn of events, he violently ends her life, tearing her throat apart. As dawn breaks, Justin awakens to the comforting sight of Jamie, his companion, bringing a tray of breakfast. They have a casual conversation about their parents, but their peaceful morning is interrupted when Justin is suddenly overcome by a wave of nausea. He rushes to the bathroom, vomiting a horde of parasites. He hides his discomfort, pretending to be well to keep Jamie unaware of his deteriorating health. Meanwhile, during a walk, Kristen stumbles upon a chilling sight, a graveyard filled with the bodies of those who died from the infection. As she surveys the eerie scene, she senses someone lurking behind her. The stalker waits for the perfect moment to attack. Back at their place, Justin is showing an impressive display of strength, splitting logs with his bare hands. He tests his might against a tree, his fists landing powerful blows against its bark. After proving his strength, he notices a parasite protruding from a wound on his body. He casually removes it, treating it as a minor inconvenience. Marco, a friend, arrives, seeking Justin's blessing to propose to Jamie. As Marco pours out his heart, Justin's attention is diverted by Kristen's distant screams. He assures Marco of his support before rushing off to investigate. Kristen, in a desperate bid for survival, is running from her stalker. Despite her best efforts, her luck runs out as the stalker catches up to her, sealing her fate with a parasitic kiss. Back at the house, Marco is nervously preparing to propose to Jamie. Their moment is interrupted by the arrival of Larkin and McAvire, who express their concerns about Justin's health. Jamie assures them that Justin is recovering, but Dr. McAvire warns her that his apparent wellness is just a phase of the infection. They present evidence of Justin's violent act from the previous night, leaving Jamie and Marco in shock. As they set off to find Justin, Sarah, who is also infected, observes their actions from her living room. Amidst the chaos, Jamie is abducted by an unknown figure. The search party eventually finds Justin, holding Kristen's lifeless body. As they prepare to kill him, Marco intervenes, paying the ultimate price. Justin, fueled by the infection, begins a deadly rampage against the militia, who prove to be woefully inept in combat. One member even abandons his firearm, choosing to fight Justin in a futile hand-to-hand battle. Larkin, McAvire, and Sheriff Jake arrive at the scene, armed with salt to destroy the infected bodies. However, McAvire falls victim to the infection, leaving Sheriff Jake to carry out the task. Jamie wakes up to find herself in the custody of Uncle Mason, who is also infected. He reveals his ability to remove parasites from his face, a grotesque party trick. Jamie remembers that her mother had developed an antidote. Mason, desperate for the cure, infects Jamie, hoping to force her into giving up the antidote. However, she remains defiant. In a daring escape, Jamie manages to free herself, securing a prototype antidote before fleeing to a nearby hospital. Mason pursues her, but his search is interrupted by Larkin. Seizing the opportunity, Jamie makes her escape. Larkin tries to subdue Mason, but the infection has made him stronger. Jamie intervenes, dousing Mason with salt water. Jamie and Larkin make their escape in Larkin's car. He reveals that he had saved Jamie as a child by sending her off the island, and that he had always been an ally of her mother. He also discloses Dr. McAvire's plot to lure Jamie back to the island in hopes of getting the antidote. They discover Sarah's car, now fully infected. Jamie rescues the baby while Larkin deals with Sarah. They return to their car. Jamie and Larkin arrive at a lab filled with pearls containing parasites, ready for global distribution. Larkin hands Jamie a gas tank to fuel a boat for their escape. Justin appears, and Larkin tries to subdue him with salt, but the infection has made Justin stronger. He kills Larkin. Jamie devises a plan, releasing an empty boat to distract Justin. She takes the baby and escapes in another boat. Justin pleads with her to stay, but Jamie is determined to leave him behind. Sometime later, Jamie and the baby are adrift at sea. Jamie sneezes, expelling parasites from her nose. She rinses her hand in the water, causing her skin and flesh to burn. She hands the baby a doll containing the antidote before sacrificing herself to the sea. The boat is eventually discovered by a Coast Guard ship, which rescues the baby. The story ends 6 months later in a jewelry store in Seoul. A woman tries to return a pearl, but is denied due to the lack of a receipt. In a fit of rage, she smashes a glass showcase, causing the pearl to crack and reveal a parasite, marking a chilling end to the tale. And with that, the movie ends. We hope you enjoyed our video. Watch the next recaps on the screen, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing recaps. See you in the next one.